So even though the Washington Commanders lost to the Baltimore Ravens yesterday, we just took an even more bigger loss, and that has nothing to do with the record of the Washington Commanders, as it has something to do more so with our player and say what you want, a big part of this defense. Jonathan Allen, he is now out for the rest of the season with a pec injury, and a lot of people want to get rid of Jonathan Allen and they want to trade him. And I'm not going to act as if I'm the biggest Jonathan Allen fan. I do feel as though he has his moments where he disappears and we could potentially ship him off. However, you can't sit up here and trash a guy because of how you feel about his play. Because again, you don't never want to see anyone be injured. So let's talk about more of this. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you guys help me get there as soon as possible. Let's get straight to it. So per Tom Pelissero, the indication is that Commanders defensive tackle Jonathan Allen is feared to have sustained a serious pectoral injury, which may require season-ending surgery. Allen is currently seeking a second opinion, but it's not looking promising. Again, this is very unfortunate for the Washington Commanders. As we know, yesterday a couple of guys went down. Jonathan Allen went down. Dorrance Armstrong went down. And those are two key parts of our defense. Again, say what you want about Jonathan Allen. I know I'm not the biggest Jonathan Allen fan at this point because I do feel like he has his times where he disappears and he's all of this and doesn't show for it on the field. However, we are much rather better, believe it or not, at this current point with Jonathan Allen than without Jonathan Allen. Now, that could change. Johnny Newton could come in here. He's had a couple good games last couple weeks. So maybe Johnny Newton comes in here and he gives Washington the look that they want and they weren't going to get if Jonathan Allen was healthy, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like, we drafted Johnny Newton in potential hopes of pairing him with Deron Payne and potentially Jonathan Allen, but also in a sense of maybe having overkill at a position to where we could move off of one of these guys, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, given their age, given their salary, given their lack of production. So that could be a positive of this situation is that we're getting an extended look more likely than not at Johnny Newton, and Johnny Newton could show Washington why we drafted him in the second round. He was a potential first round pick if he wasn't an injury, if he didn't have an injury history. So hopefully he can ramp it up and show why we selected him in the second round. As far as Jonathan Allen goes, I definitely feel like not that his days are numbered in Washington because he did anything wrong, but because of his age, because of the lack of production, and because of his salary, I could see Washington not necessarily in need of Jonathan Allen next season. Now, let me go ahead and look up his contract before I say anything further because I want to say when does we have an opportunity to get out of his contract. 2021, he signed a 4-year deal worth $72 million. So I think next year would end up being his last year of his deal. Do you get out of that this season? Maybe. He'll be an unrestricted free agent come 2026, but he'll be 30 years old start of next season, and he's going to be owed $15 million. But let's just say Johnny Newton shows us what we've been looking for, been missing in the interior. Do you trade him? Do you release him and take that cap hit? The cap hit would probably be about $21 million or $23 million next season is the cap hit. So are you willing to take that cap hit, move him off the books, move him somewhere else, release him, whatever you may be? I don't necessarily see that happening because he is too vital to this roster and as a person. He definitely isn't the best player no more. He isn't this game record player. He's not Chris Jones. He's not Aaron Donald. He's not one of these. He's not Sexy Dexter Lawrence. He's not none of these guys that we've came to seen over the years. He's not even Deron Payne, if you want to be right. I know Deron Payne has disappeared, but Deron Payne has shown more than Jonathan Allen to this extent. So yeah, it's definitely frustrating. It's definitely upsetting to not have Jonathan Allen because we would much rather be with him, and I think that's what we're going to see unless Johnny Newton can come in here and show us otherwise. We're much better with him than without him, but definitely sucks to see him hurt. I definitely want to see what Washington does. Do this prompt us to make a move at the deadline? Does this prompt us to stay put? Because right now our line depth could potentially be taking a huge hit. Yeah, we're getting Fa Obata back on the outside. We're potentially getting Jordan McGee at some point. Do we call up a guy off the practice squad for defensive tackle? Is Benny Poetay around still? We'll see because now we're thin inside. No Jonathan Allen for the rest of the season, more likely than not. So it's going to be Deron Payne, Fedarian Mathis, and Johnny Newton. So maybe we call up one more guy. Maybe we trade for a guy. I don't know. But we'll see how we are moving forward. We're losing a say what you want. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but we're losing a voice in the locker room. In a sense, not that he's not going to be around, but he's probably not going to be giving the pregame speeches how he was. And he's definitely still somebody that you can use. I'm not going to sit up here and act like Jonathan Allen is just this bum. He's not what we thought. He's not what we expect him to be after getting that contract and after having that really good year. But Jonathan Allen is still somebody that can be used on this team right now at this current state. This defense has not been the best, and we'll see if moving forward without Jonathan Allen, when can they get any better? Was he the reason why we weren't really good? Or is he the reason that we're not getting interior pressure how we should? We're gonna have a lot of answer moving forward since he won't be out there on the field. We'll get to know either one or two things. He was a part of the problem, and now we're seeing different results because different players are in there, or he was a part of the solution, and it really wasn't Jonathan Allen how it seemed like it was when watching the games. Now, again, I understand he looked like he disappeared at times, but we have to understand the defensive tackle position isn't always about stats. So guys could not have stats, but still be, disruptive or still be making plays. Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne hasn't really seemed like they've been making plays on a consistent basis this season, so that's what has a lot of fans upset. But yeah, Jonathan Allen, pectoral injury, more likely than not going to be ending his season. I think his rookie season or second season, he had a foot injury that ended his season. So this is the second season ending injury for Deron Payne, or excuse me, Jonathan Allen. We'll see how the team moves forward. We'll see if they stay put with the three guys that we have. Big Phil Mathis is somebody that I'm excited about, who I think could come in and play that Deron or that Jonathan Allen role, like lack of pass rusher, but more so in there for his aggressiveness and his run stuffing ability. Johnny Newton is the guy that you're going to put in there to create some type of pass rush interior, push the pocket forward, make the quarterback uncomfortable to step up into the pocket. He's your guy to go to. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how we dial up this new rotation now that Jonathan Allen is going to be out of the game for the remainder or out of the season this year. Would you bring back Jonathan Allen after this season? Would you move on from? Would you draft someone as replacement? We already did with Johnny Newton, but did you want to add more? You drafted Fedarian Mathis, but Ron Rivera drafted Fedarian Mathis, so we have some guys there. I don't know how the depth necessarily is at that position, but we may be fine. I don't expect if you want me to be real with you, I don't expect a major difference. I know I didn't said all this about Jonathan Allen, but I don't expect a major difference with how the defense has been playing. The defense necessarily has it can't get any worse. So it ain't gonna be like, oh man, see, Jonathan Allen was out there. It would have been X, Y, and Z better. It would have been X, Y, and Z like this. Nah, it probably won't be anything different. We probably won't even know Jonathan Allen is not out there unless we remember, okay, he tore his pec. That's how really non-existent he's been all season. So again, hats off to him. He's a hell of a guy, hell of a player. I have nothing but pure respect for Jonathan Allen for laying his life on the line each and every week. It definitely sucks to lose a guy like Jonathan Allen. You would love to have him throughout the season and have him work through his problems and his issues. But again, you have to truck forward. He's still around. He's still alive. He's still here with us. And we'll see how the team responds to this injury. We'll see what the update is going to be on Dorrance Armstrong. Now that is going to be a huge blow if we're being honest. At this point and at this how this team is ran, Dorrance Armstrong is more of a bigger loss than Jonathan Allen. We've been able to get some semblance of pressure with Dorrance Armstrong. So we need to see how his ribs are feeling. Hopefully it's not nothing too major, and hopefully he'll be able to either come back next week or the week after that. But we are going to need Dorrance Armstrong because we're going to need as much pressure that we can because we don't really have those guys or that guy that can get after the quarterback. So we'll see moving forward. But again, Jonathan Allen I don't want to say torn pec, but has a pec injury that more likely than not is going to end his season. He's seeking a second opinion, but more likely than not, JA will be out for the rest of the year. This sucks for him. This sucks for our team because we don't ever want to see anybody get hurt, but we'll be fine more likely than not. And it's next man up mentality. Let me know what you guys know about this video in the comment section down below. As always, being boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, and subscribe. Help to Washington Commanders. Make sure you guys use the promo code Juan Gotti to get $20 off your first purchase. See you later. I'm out. Peace.